Lesson number 3 on immune to the gospel. Thank you, sister. I got so many lessons I'm teaching. Part 2, part 3, part 4. Thank you, sister. I'm listening to y'all. Amen. Thank you for your help. This is lesson number 3. She right. Because last week, this is lesson number 3. Because last week, lesson number 2, I dealt with one chapter. People will forget about God when they bless. Thank you, sister. And I got it wrote down over here to the side. Number 3. Amen. This will be lesson number 3. Thank you, sister. For immune to the gospel. And I'll bring you up to Paul on where we were. Because last week we spoke on just Deuteronomy chapter 8. Covers so many scriptures. And we're going to talk about that 7 kind of people. That's what God showed me. That the gospel will not affect. And you want to make sure that you're not one of these 7. Let's discuss, first of all, to bring everybody up on the same page. What does the word immune mean? Immune means not affected or influenced by something. To be not affected or influenced by something. So the lesson is called Immune to the Gospel. And what is the gospel? The teaching or the revelation of Christ. The teachings or the revelation of Christ. It is also known as the good news or the New Testament. The good news or the New Testament. And what is a testament? A testament is nothing but a person's will. Something you desire that should happen with your possessions or your property or your vision or your business, whatever it is you're leaving behind or whatever it is you has begun, how you want to carry out after you have left this place. So the gospel is also referred to as the New Testament or the good news. How could a people or individual become immune to the gospel, which is designed to save one's soul from judgment and eternal damnation? Jesus Christ only came into this world, according to the scriptures, for one purpose, and that is to save sinners. That's it. And Paul said, of whom I am a chief sinner. He came into this world to save sinners. But a lot of churches are using Calvary as a magic genie to make false hope, give false hope to people to get them to join their church or be a part of their ministry. You only come by Calvary for one reason. That's to get saved. Amen. You don't come here to get your credit back in good standing. If you want to help people get their credit back in good standing, come to Pastor Joseph class. It's 5 minutes. Oh, no man, nothing. But to love him. See that? See? You don't even go to a conference for oh, no man, nothing. If you owe somebody, you pay them, the Bible says. And if you loan your brothers or sisters some money, the Bible says don't charge them interest. But owe no man nothing. Pay your credits. That's it. You don't need to go to no conference to have how to get your marriage back in line. Men, love your wife like Christ loved the church. Amen. Women, submit to your husband like if he was Jesus. That's right. In the class. That's right. My children won't listen. Children, obey your parents in the Lord. This is the first commandment. Not to be a little junior usher. Class over. But you fathers, don't provoke your children to wrath. Right. Don't do nothing to make your children hostile. Whooping them just because you mad because you didn't get the promotion. Yes. Don't do nothing to make your children angry for nothing. Amen. That's it. That's right. Thank you. Amen. Yes. Amen. Amen. Don't need no. It's in the word. That's right. Well, Pastor, I want to get rich. Work hard. Save your money. Get rid of everything you don't have to have. You don't have to have cable to live. You don't even need a cell phone. They still can call you at the house. Yes, they can. They still sell pages. Huh? You don't need a $70,000 car to get to work. Get a used car. Save your money. Work overtime. The Bible says a lazy man fold his hand. While he folding his hand, his garden is grown over. It's in the word. If God made it so simple, we want something that's complex. all you gotta do. Teach me how to be more loving. He sent haters in your life.
All right.
You don't learn how to be more loving being around loving people. You learn how to be more loving being around people that's not loving. How could a people or individual become immune to the gospel, which is designed to save one soul from judgment? There are 7 types of people that will become immune to the gospel. Number 1, we talked about, and this is what we talked about on lesson 1 and 2, stubbornness. A person that is stubborn. What does it mean to be stubborn? It means I'm not going to change my mind despite the pressure here to do so. Refusing to change one mind despite the pressure to do so. Sometimes when you're stubborn, God will let things come in your life or happen to you to get you to change. It's not to punish. It's never to punish you. It's to get you to see the other side. But when a person made up their mind that they're not going to change their mind, then there's nothing you can do.
Amen.
Thank God. Look to them and say, thank God for John Deere tractors.
Thank God for John Deere.
I know y'all probably say, why are you saying that? Because if we have to depend on our farming by mules, you ever seen a jackass sit down? I saw one sit down in the middle of cavalcade. The man jumped off the wagon, unhitched it before the car started because he knew that mule wasn't going to get up. That mule said, I'm tired. Y'all done walked me all through Fifth Ward. Took him from the roping pen early that morning. Walked him all through Fifth Ward, all of Brewster Street in Frenchtown. And that mule said, I'm tired. That was the first time I ever witnessed that. That jackass sat down in the middle of the cavalcade. They hurry up, unhitch that wagon, pull it to Lynn Street, and try to get him to, he wouldn't get up. They even tied a rope around his neck, and the horse was dragging him. It was skinning his booty, but it wouldn't stand up. And when he did stood up, he ran all the way to the rope pen. Thank God for, back then you had to use a jackass or a mule to farm. Rich people had horses, but poor people had mules. And when that mule sit down, that's it for the day.
Wow.
And I witnessed one sit down in the middle of cavalcade, took up both lanes, just sat there. I'm tired. What y'all think this is? Them little kids on the wagon was happy. That mule sat down, they got the cry. Mule say, you cry all you want, I'm tired. So when people are stubborn, they like that mule. Thank God for tractors. They don't use mules no more. Somebody started losing money. And when a person is stubborn, you can teach them about the word all that you want. If they close their mind, ain't nothing you can do. Leave them alone. Number 1 is stubborn. Number 2, Satan. The only type of people, we discussed that previously. So for stubbornness, you could write down, if you wasn't here, Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 18 through 21. Deuteronomy 21. See, they were talking about the children. They didn't have stubborn. Back then, in those days, if you had stubborn children, you had to bring them to the city, to the gates of the elders, and tell them, this is our son. We've done all that we can do. He won't listen. He won't change. And all the elders of the city would take up stones and what? Stone him to death. To be stubborn was considered to be evil. So the second one was the only type of people Satan can blind is those who refuse to believe anyway. Satan only can blind the minds of those that refuse to accept the gospel. Once you refuse to accept the gospel, Satan comes and blinds you from receiving the truth. There's no middle ground. You got a lot of people say, well, pray for so-and-so. I'm just praying. Either they're a believer or they're a non-believer. Either you're under God's power or the devil's power. And just because the devil don't use you every day don't mean you're not under his influence. Because we born, into sin.
Yes.
Amen? Amen? Number 2 is Satan. Number 3, unbelief. We gave an example in Matthew chapter 13 that when a person will not believe, that is so powerful. I think that's one of the worst one of all of them. Unbelief is so powerful because even if Jesus Christ himself was your pastor and was teaching you, if you refuse to believe, not even he could help you. We showed you that in Matthew chapter 13. The Bible says he can only lay hands on a few folk and heal a few people because of their what? Unbelief. He could do no mighty works there because the people that had a heart to believe. He only can do what you allow him to do through your faith. If you have enough faith as a grain of a mustard seed, the Bible says you could speak to your own mountain and tell it to be cast over yonder and they got to move. So number 4 was blessings. People that have a lot of blessings or have an abundance of things, it's hard for them to receive the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And the scriptures we gave for proof last week was Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 7 through 20. They was getting ready to go to the promised land. They was coming from Egypt, had been in bondage 400 years.
That's right.
They had been in bondage. And God was getting ready to bring them to the promise. He was getting ready to keep his word, what he promised to the forefathers. That he was going to give them a land flowing with milk and honey. They was getting ready to go into the land, and we discussed that last week. And God said, I'm going to put you in houses. See, blessings make people get amnesia if they don't love God. You can't tell me nothing about, I done seen it through the word, and I've seen it in real life. A poor man or a needy person know how to pray and get their prayer through. They will attend church because they need something from God. And it can be a genuine need. And when God bless them, that's when you see if they really love God. So he told them, I'm finna put you in houses, Israel. I'm finna put you in houses you didn't build, give you vineyards you didn't plant, wells you didn't dig, springs flowing from the mountains, iron, brass, iron in the mountains that you can make your weapons of war, whatever. He said, but when you eat and you're full, please bless the Lord. He said, bless me. He said, don't forget me, bless me. He said, because if you do that and forget the Lord and you start serving other gods like the nations who was in this land before you was in this land, he said, I testify against you this day. He said, I'm giving, it's like he almost swam that I'm going to get you. He said, you shall perish also. That's right. After I bless you, and then you act like you don't know me. Yeah. Read it. That's what he's saying. You do not, now however you come to Jesus, that's what they say, come to Jesus as you are. Whatever you had when you came to Jesus, that's rightfully yours. Even though God gave it to you, but you didn't get it under the blood. But whatever you get from under the blood, you know, from the time you got saved and beyond, that's belong to God.
Amen.
And that's a conditional blessing. He said, if you be willing and obedient, you shall what? Eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured by the sword, for the mouth of the Lord is spoken. God says it's a conditional blessing. If you honor me, he told Solomon, all the days of my life, just like I was with your father David, I'll be with you. And Solomon honored him till he got an old man. And then his new God was all his wives.
Yeah.
Had over 1,000 wives all together. He just add all of them up together. Now, what you gonna do with 1,000 women? And can you imagine? And you know how women are, some women.
Yes, sir.
When they want something, they know how to be real sweet, baby. I fix your favorite hamburger with Swiss cheese and green onions. I need $200 to go shopping with the girls. Can you imagine 1,000 of them tell you at the same time, baby, Solomon. And the Bible says each one of them wanted their own church built for their God. And he was so weak behind his wives. He done it. And the thing made God so mad. God started to take all the kingdom out of his hand. But he said, because of your father David, boy, I'm going to leave you one. You see that? So you don't keep your stuff when you turn your back on God. You don't keep it. You may think you keeping it. Because he may tear the wingworm or the hurricane or the tornado. Or however he do it, or the job may lay you. I don't know what he gonna do. You don't keep his stuff. It's like you done slapped him in the face. I got what I want now. Holler at you. And you got people doing it all over the world. And we all guilty. I'm guilty. We all done it at some point. And let me tell you why I know we all guilty. Because the Bible say, Paul say, when you came here, you ain't had nothing. And when you leave here, you don't have nothing. So everything you attain since you got here, you've been a recipient of. So when you came here, you was naked. Listen, that was the worst part of your life when you was born. You was naked, you was broke, and you ain't had nothing to eat, and you ain't had nothing to wear. Somebody was nice enough to feed you and wrap something around you. And when you leave here, you're going to leave the same way. So Number 4 was abundance or blessings. People become immune to the gospel. Can't talk to them no more. Number 5 is not popular. Oh, it's not popular. The gospel, going to church ain't popular no more. I don't know who y'all trying to fool. It is to us that love God, but it's not popular no more. But the tailgate on Sunday is. The Texans playing today. They playing today, Bro T? We ought to go. We ought to cancel church early, just ride by Reliant. And I don't care how cold it is. See how many people out there tailgating. Going to church ain't popular. When MySpace first came out, if you didn't have a MySpace page, you wasn't popular. Almost more people had it that didn't have it. But when stuff not popular according to the world standard, that's another thing that can make you immune to the gospel. When it's been around too long. See, MySpace was around so long, not Facebook, y'all. So it ain't popular no more. Sometimes longevity. Amen? Number 6, foolishness will make you immune to the gospel. When you're foolish, the Bible said the cross to them that are perishing is foolishness. Don't know want to hear about no man who's supposed to be born by a virgin, suffered, died, was buried, stayed in the ground 3 days, and then rose up from the dead. And then talking about he got more power than when he went. And talking about he give you the power to walk upon serpents. That's foolishness to them that are lost, the Bible says. But to us that are saved, it is the what? Power of God. And the last one is the overeducated. Too smart to save your own self. The Bible says God will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent and the wise. He took the weak things of this world to teach the wise a lesson. The things that have been rejected to teach the wise a lesson. So those are the 7 types of people that will be immune to the gospel. Let's look at number 5 today. Not popular. When something is not popular according to the world standard, or it's been around so long, people get used to it. And once they get used to it, they won't honor it the way they did when it first came out. 50 years ago, now ain't been that long ago, 50 years ago we were singing, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. And guess where the headquarters was? That's the only place they can safely hold their meeting. But we done overcame now. That's past now. We got a black president. We got almost a black man in every city. Almost a black or minority chief of police. Black mayors, everything. Council members, you name it. We used to couldn't get on the bus. Now we can sit on the bus. Drive the bus. Wash the bus. Detail the bus. Work on the bus. We got the bus, but we lost Jesus. You just couldn't eat at the front counter. At the end of the restaurant through the back door. You couldn't drink at certain water fountains. I can drink at any water fountain. Huh? Now you go to McDonald's, they got 200 soda waters on the machine. And you can be the first one in line. Mix them up. Sweet banana water got sugar in it. And colors and flavors. And now we ain't got time for Jesus. I went to a Burger King and they said, well, fix your own drink. I went over there, I said, Welch's, I hear Welch's. I seen grape, cranberry grape, diet grape, sugar-free grape, caffeine-free grape, root beer grape, root beer vanilla. What the what? 200 soda waters? I hear the little of each. I was happy about it. I didn't know what it tastes like when I finally got through. We got water. We done come over. We done got over. We got sugar in the water now. That's carbonated water. But look at the church. We don't want the gospel no more. Huh? Longevity. The gospel been around so long. We done heard it. We noticed he done died. He died. Did he get up? He got up with all power in his hand. Oh, midnight rider. Peace of peace. Glory of glory. God of God. And all they do is say, woo! You should have been in church. Pastor preach. What did he preach about? I don't know, but he sure was whooping. Don't know what the lesson was about.
Amen, Pastor. Help somebody.
It was early Sunday morning. Early, everybody say early Sunday morning. He stayed down in the ground. But on the third day, he rose. And then we go home and say, and then cut somebody out. Soon as you know, I can't even stop. Don't house up this. Immune. I told y'all about the roaches I had. I sprayed that roach. He got used to that roach spray. And come back to get him up, he gone. A whole generation roach said, brother, we used to this now. We used to being blessed. We feel like God's supposed to do it now. And the sixth one is foolishness. We're going to close this today. Psalms 14:1. Turn to Psalms 14:1. Look what the fool said. Psalms 14:1. And we'll get ready to go home. Psalms 14, verse 1. When you find it, say, bless his name.
Bless his name.
Number 6 is foolishness. These type of people that are immune to the gospel. Look what the fool has said, the Bible says. The fool has said in his heart, there is no what? God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that do it good. The fool said in his heart, ain't no God. He wasn't saying that when he was needing something. He's saying that now. You watch for God to bless. And and I'm not judging nobody. But most of your singers and people that made it in the R&B world, that's singing for the secular world, they come out to church. And they'll tell you, I used to sing in the choir. I used to, see, immune to the gospel now. God gave them a gift and they took it to the world. Now they ain't got time for God. Or they'll go to church if somebody die, or you pay them to be on program. And the last one is the overeducated. Too smart to save yourself. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. It's hard to appreciate a person that got doctrine in front of their name. And doctor mean you highly educated.
Right.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Let's look at verse 16. When you find it, say bless his name.
Bless his name.
When you're too smart, you're going to destroy yourself. Help your neighbor. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 16. It says, be not what? Righteous over much. Don't be too righteous. Neither make thyself over what? Wise. Why should thou destroy what?
Thyself.
Only thing gonna happen when you too smart, you're gonna destroy yourself. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 16. Be not righteous over much. He's saying don't be too righteous. Neither make thyself over what?
Wise.
Why should thou destroy thyself? See, when people too smart and they educated and too smart for themselves and they got too many doctrines. See, that was wrong with the Pharisees. They knew the law of Moses. So when Jesus came along, he couldn't tell them nothing. Then they got nerve enough to try to ask him a question. Is it lawful to put away your wife? Jesus said, what is written in your law? What did Moses command you? Because he knew they knew. But they was too smart. But they didn't understand what Isaiah had said that about the coming Messiah. So they want to ignore that. So Jesus said, what's written in your law? Because they tried to trap Jesus. He said, Moses said, give a divorce. But Jesus said, but that ain't what he meant from the beginning, God. But he said, because your head was so hard, he gone and say, go and do it. Because the hardness of your heart, he wrote that. But what God had joined together, let no man put asunder. For the two shall become one. That's the original marriage law. But because your head's so hard, he altered it. But he said, but watch this now. God said, but I'm not going to play with you, because when I speak a word, I can't change my word. The woman is still bound by the law of her husband as long as he's living and not dead. You go and divorce him. But I'm still hold you accountable as long as that man living. So if she's still living, or he's still living, you still married to him in heaven. Not on earth, but in heaven, I still got your husband and wife. That's why Jesus told the woman, you got 5 husbands. And the one you with 9 yours. Because you might have divorced him because of whatever reason. But in heaven, every time you marry, I got that as your husband. Now watch this. The woman is free to marry another only if, that's New Testament now, her husband is dead and in the ground. But I'd rather that y'all get back together because in heaven you're still one. Now somebody said, well, can I go to heaven? Of course you can. Because I got to do, God will forgive you every sin but what? Blasphemy. But if you don't know, you can just ask for forgiveness. You'll be walking around with guilt all your life. He'll forgive you of every sin except blasphemy. So Lord, forgive me. You know, I got a divorce and I remarried, and he gonna forgive you because you act. And it's just like you had it and said, oh, I got erased. Ain't that good? Amen. He'll forgive you of everything the Bible says, but blasphemy. And the Bible said, I'm closing with this one. For blasphemy, you won't be forgiven in this life or the world to come. Give the Lord a hand clap.
Thank you, Jesus.
Maybe someone here need prayer.